Samuel Kivuitu, a name that has come up several times on social media and on different media platforms in regards to the irregularities in the 2007 post-election violence. Samuel Kivuitu was the IEBC, or let me say the ECK chair, who announced Mwai Kibaki as the presidential winner in the controversial 2007 election. As of today, 21st of the year 2025, Wafula Chebukati has rested. A chapter filled with controversy has rested. A chapter filled with secrets in regards to the elections irregularities has been closed. Now, allow me to take you back to the story of Samuel Kivuitu so that you will understand the reason why Kenyans are comparing the chapter of Wafula Chebukati to that of the late Samuel Kivuitu. When the former Electoral Commission of Kenya Chairman Samuel Kivuitu died on Monday night of 26th of February the year 2013, a colorful and controversial chapter was closed. In his heyday as Parklands MP, now Westlands constituency, as a lawyer, Kivuitu had the image of a suave operator. But when he lost his seat in the year 1983 following the John Joskea general election, Kivuitu's fortune dwindled. He retreated to his struggling law firm and supplemented his income with a fish and chips outlet in Nairobi. It was from this humbling environment that former President Moi picked Mr. Kivuitu to join ECK, which was chaired by the late Justice Zacchaeus Chesson. When Mr. Chesson died in September 1999, Mr. Moi appointed Mr. Kivuitu in his place at a time when the opposition was demanding to have a say in the appointment of electoral commissioners. Mr. Kivuitu, then 74 years, had battled with throat cancer for the past few years. His death came as the country prepared to go to the polls on March 4th, during the time that Uhuru Ruto ticket and the Jubilee ticket and the Jubilee elections were coming up. Mr. Kivuitu has been remembered for overseeing the controversial 2007 elections, which led to violence over the legitimate winner, while there was a row over whether he was suitable to hold the office. President Kibaki appointed him ahead of the polls. Mr. Kivuitu had successfully chaired the commission during the elections of the year 1997, 2002, as well as the constitutional referendum in 2005. In 2007, his statement and body language did not help ease the rising tension in the neck-to-neck competition. His defense, Mr. Kivuitu maintained that he was not to blame for the violence, as he simply announced the results added to him. He said, the results that were added to me, I didn't know who was the winner. I just announced the result as they came, which a lot of Kenyans said that Kivuitu stole what was rightful for Raila Amolo Odinga and handed it over to Mwai Kibaki. If it's possible for me to carry out my work, if it is impossible for me to carry out my work, I will go home, he said when the storm surrounding the election results became overwhelming. This came after Orange Democratic Movement members led by Jubilee presidential running mate then William Ruto piled pressure on him, calling the process a sham. After the 2007 polls debacle, Mr. Kivuitu retreated to his Nairobi home as illness stalked him. Given a chance, he always defended his decision to announce Kibaki as the winner at the Kenya International Conference Center, KICC, in seclusion, with only Kenya Broadcasting Corporation, KBC, present. Following the incident, ECK was disbanded and Mr. Kivuitu and his team sent home. On May 7th, 2009, the Interim Independent Electoral Commission of Kenya, IEBC, in the Interim Independent Electoral Commission of Kenya, IIEC, was formed to plug the gap. 3 weeks ago, then Mr. Kivuitu was quoted in an interview cautioning the then chair of the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, Mr. Isaac Hassan, to be careful lest he finds himself in the dilemma the deceased was in the 2007 post-election violence. Now, Kivuitu was a chapter filled with controversy. A man that saw in Mwai Kibaki at night at the Kenya International Conference Center, KICC, where he didn't want a lot of medias to come and hear the said story. But when you look at the said story of Samuel Kivuitu, in comparison to that of the late IEBC chair Wafula Chebukati, I have said that there are similarities that you cannot put away. There are similarities that you cannot draw away. And that is why Chebukati, remember, there were the Cherera 4 commissioners went ahead to oppose Wafula Chebukati's decision to announce William Ruto as the rightful heir or the winner of the elections of the year 2022. And the elections and the debacle that surrounded the said election was one for the books. Though the Supreme Court ruled that William Ruto had won the election, a lot of Kenyans till date believe Raila Amolo Odinga was the rightful winner of the elections of the year 2022. And many are saying that it's payback that God has made Chebukati suffer since he announced William Ruto as the winner of the 2022 general election, that he has suffered until then, until his passing, which happened today on 21st of February, the year 2025, because Wafula Chebukati refused to open the IEBC servers as a lot of Kenyans were requesting them to be opened. Raila Amolo Odinga, together with this team, moved to the Supreme Court, went ahead even to file a case at the East African Court, seeking Wafula Chebukati to have the IEBC servers opened so that we could determine who was the right winner of the 2025 general election. But he refused. And that led to the demonstrations that happened in the year 2023, where over 74 young men and women were killed protesting that the IEBC servers should be opened and Raila Amolo Odinga should be given what was rightful his. After that, we also saw the demonstrations that happened last year, which was the year 2024, where a lot of Gen Zs were killed in the streets of Nairobi and other parts of the country, demonstrating on the bad leadership, opposing the leadership and the finance bill that was being shoved down their throat by one President William Ruto. A lot of people have died due to the decision that Wafula Chebukati made. And a lot of people are cursing him even right now that he has rested and he has gone to the grave. What is your take? Leave a comment in the comment section. See you in our next video. Remember, this is the Kenyan Daily Report. The section on here is, did you know?